All right. Hey there. Hey, Lori. Welcome.
Hey,
Hello.
thank you.
I just got off the other meeting, so let me let some other people join. I'm still down here.
Okay.
We're at the medical building because we had some things going on here yesterday. All right. Come on in, y'all. Okay, come on in. Come on in. I'll come on in. That's what I'm talking about. All right. All right. So we are going to some of this, Nori, as you're joining each week, I just really try to go over just high level overviews. So we get it, y'all. So some of it might seem like it is redundant, but that's okay. It's repetitive, but that's how we're all going to learn. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. I need to hear things more than once anyhow.
So I'm gonna put in the chat, how did you do business with Henry County tomorrow? All right, welcome, y'all. Hello, hello. Some of y'all just joined me at the Let's Talk Business. Let's connect the dots to the great state of Georgia. We have plenty of money. But what I'm finding here as I'm entering over into the other side, going into public office myself, is that we don't understand how our government works. Now, listen, I don't think I understood how the government worked in terms of how much local politics really matter. So I'm here to help with the local politics side. We are going to start having, some commissioners come up. I know my mayor, I have her cell phone number, but we need to be able to help them. And we need to do more than just saying, hey, we want to get one person to office, because it's not how it works. Hey, one of my favorite people is here. Hey, Hayden. Hayden is actually going to be helping me as my co-chair. I'm going to be on the government affairs side for the Atlanta Black Chamber. So he is young, he's passionate, he's committed, he's diligent, and he is here to learn and absorb. So we need young people on these calls so that as we move forward, we can help them. And, I was actually with the group here at Georgia Tech, and they're young. And I said, listen, why are y'all letting all the 80-year-olds make the decisions? And we have to start thinking about that in our age range. I'm actually going to be 47 tomorrow. So in my age range, and my husband, he's almost 60, we got to start thinking about the people making decisions for us. Okay, are they the right decisions? Do they understand the climate of today? Do they understand what's going on in the community? Sometimes they just don't understand. And that's what I'm finding, which is why I said I need to step up and do something different, because I just feel like the people in my community do not understand what's going on in the community. So with that said, that's right, Charles, I'm a one drink drunk, so I'm probably gonna drink that, but I'm just gonna have fun. So looking here, this is 2022. I'm gonna try to give y'all high level. We have our state. Now, from our state level, we have 159 counties, 537 cities, towns, villages, 510 special districts. One of the things that I want to go over today, a few things, we're going to focus on the Georgia Municipal Association, GMA. We're going to focus on the National Association of Cities, NACO, and we're going to focus on a little bit on our counties, because I really want you to understand how this works. So let me get to the GMA website. And these are all things that I discovered, the Georgia Municipal Association, hold on, just kind of sitting in on these meetings and kind of reading their bios and thinking like, I never heard about these things. Okay, National Coalition, let's see, NACA. Let's see, National.
Can you say the three associations?
Give me just a second. I'm down here, National League of Cities. I'm down here at Georgia Tech, so I don't have all my screens up. So first we're gonna go over the counties, okay? And then we're gonna do our National League of Cities. Because what I want you all to start doing is to sign up on the subscription list for these associations. But we need to learn where our commissioners and such are learning from. So high level, of course, we have our governor, we have our senators, we have our state representatives, we have our commissioners, we have our council members. One more association I'm gonna show y'all too, because it's important.
I have a question while you're pulling that up.
Okay.
I know last week you were saying that we should maybe start with the county we live in as far as contacting or showing up at different meetings.
Yep.
My question is, so I live in Fayette and I don't do any business or own any real estate besides what I live in Fayette.
Mm-hmm.
But I was wondering, should I still start there or maybe start
Start wherever you live.
Okay.
This is about where you live. Hold on, let me plug in, y'all. Oh, shoot. It's wherever you live. Hold on, y'all. I gotta move. All right, let me get to the plug. Just a second. All right. So we are doing this based on, I know, Charles is funny. Charles, he's so funny. We are doing this based on the county that you live in. Now, if you want to do it for the county you do business in, that's fine, but you can't sit on the board. You can attend the meetings, but you cannot sit on the board. So I'm trying to get you to where you're thinking about where you can serve on these boards. Okay. My county is Henry County. When I go, I have a little tag that says Henry County resident. I live in the city of McDonough. Okay. McDonough. We have McDonough, Stockbridge, Locust Grove, Hampton. We have 4 cities in my county. If you're in Fulton, you have like 30-something cities in your county. If you're in Fayette, you have to figure out from a county standpoint and then go to your city meetings. I don't attend all the city meetings. I don't go to Stockbridge. I don't go to Locust Grove. I don't go to Hampton. I go to McDonough because that's where I live. Now, if I decided I wanted to do more business in Stockbridge from a business perspective, my business is registered in Henry, I would attend the meeting. So again, it's twofold. But for now, I want you to focus on where you live, where you eat, live, sleep, and pray. Okay? All right, so with that said, again, we have our governor, our senators, our state representatives, our commissioners, our council members. You have your chair of your commissioner, county commissions. You have your mayor, you have your city council. Then you have all of your boards that sit underneath. So I'm going to show you an example of this. Remember, your mayor, your commissioners, they typically here in Georgia, we don't have where they have a lot of power in terms of they can't typically make all the decisions for your city. So my mayor can only appoint our, I think positions are fire chief and our police chief. Now I learned in Tulsa, Oklahoma, their mayor has complete authority. It's in their charter. Every city has a charter, but I'll show you that on GMA. That's why these calls are important, y'all. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, that's where my great-grandfather was born. Their mayor makes all of the appointments. That is dangerous. That is very dangerous. So for me and Henry, my commissioners have appointments that they can make. Our city council members have appointments they can make, your mayor and then your board of commissions. So this is an example. Gwinnett gets it right. If any of y'all are in Gwinnett, man, you guys are blessed. I've never seen anything like this. So here, you can apply for a position on a board, authority, or committee. So say you say, well, I want to apply for an audit committee. Remember, your board position, senator, state rep, those are elected positions. Boards are not, they are appointed positions. They are appointed. That means you need to know me and I need to know, like, trust you, remember, and connect with you so that I can appoint you to a position, okay? They all have terms, okay? So they have a term. Every county is different. Every board is different. Every city is different. I don't know what yours is. Those are ones we have to research, but this generally is all the same. So here's the qualifications. Typically, you'll need to have a bunch of qualifications. Here's your responsibilities. You'll probably meet once or twice a month. It's on the schedule, and then you're going to make some decisions based on that agenda. All of these terms expire this year. But remember, they're appointed positions. So if you don't already know your commissioner, why would they appoint you? And that's why I want to start having the conversation now. If I don't know you, I can't appoint you. And I'm not going to appoint you just because I met you one time at a meeting. So these are incumbents, your county administrator, which of course that's a county employee, and then your chief financial officer, director of financial services. These are incumbents. Okay, so again, I want you to see that these are appointments. Now, when that's unique because here you can actually apply to sit on a board. These are unpaid positions, except if you're, of course, you know, commissioner. Well, everyone from the governor on down to your city council gets stipends, but it's not much. Well, in some instances, I guess it would be, but I know my county is like $14,000, $15,000. Okay. You have different outreach committees, your ethics boards. Now, here's the thing. Deidre, again, I'm pointing her out because she did this a couple of weeks ago. You want to find out what district you live in because every commissioner, your county has commissioners. Some are small. Rockdale County, I think, has their board. Let's see, I think they have 3 commissioners total. They have the board seat, which actually they got paid 100-some thousand, so that was pretty significant. And then they had like 2 seats. But you have to find what district you live in because that's who will appoint you to a seat from your district. And again, these are all up on the website. This is general information, y'all, okay? So you can see here where they've had their informal presentations, their business sessions, and you can look at the agendas. Everything here is public, okay? The meetings are public, and you can see here sometimes they videotape the meetings as well. But this is for your boards, okay? And again, Gwinnett is different, but you can just go to your county, go to your city, and look up the boards for your city. McDonough just formed a development authority board at our last meeting. So we have, what they did is they enacted it. I didn't even know that was possible to do. But every city, okay, another thing real quick, every city charter for, that's true. Fayette. Because she brought up Fayette, excuse me, y'all, I'm still getting from the cold. So every city has a charter. Every city in the United States has a charter, okay? The city, and it's public information. The City of Fayetteville, Georgia's charter is available on the Fayetteville website along with ordinances related to the charter. The only changes or updates to the charter are by an ordinance that has to be approved by the council. See why all this is important? Like we sitting here, we don't know what's going on. We just sitting in our communities and we go into the store, things are popping up around us. And you're like, well, when did this happen? It was thought about 20 years ago. There are things that are coming up that were approved in the zoning from 20 years ago in my community, 20 years ago. And I'm sitting there just like, this is crazy. I'm gonna bring on our zoning. We actually have a deputy administrator. He's a good friend of mine. I'm gonna ask them to come on our call one day and talk about zoning. It does not transfer. If I own a property, I have a property, my zoning does not transfer when I sell you the property, not automatically. It may not. It may not. So if I have a special use permit, it doesn't travel with you if I sell it to you. So some things are already licensed that way, or what do they call it? Sectioned off that way. It's not always the case. So again, every city has a charter. All right, so we're going into the GMA here, and I know y'all can hear me, y'all hear him too, but it's okay. And this is, again, the Georgia Municipal Association. If you are a business owner, you can actually get into their business directory. So if you do something that as it relates to the cities, this makes a lot of sense for you. So you have sponsorship opportunities. Okay, they represent 536 cities. Okay, they have something called a Business Alliance program. And it's really actually very inexpensive. It's like $1,500. And this is some of the things that it includes. Okay, but I'm not going to go into that because this is not business call. Let me stay focused, Montina. All right. So here's their mission. It's to anticipate, influence the forces shaping Georgia cities and to provide leadership tools and services that assist municipal governments in becoming more innovative, effective, and responsive. This is what they want. Our governments want to be more innovative, effective, and responsive. Okay, it's a nonprofit organization. Who are these people that run it? Oh, I'm glad you asked. It represents 536 cities, a 62-member board of directors composed of city officials, governs GMA. Program implementation is charged to the executive director and a staff of more than 100 full-time employees. You guys probably didn't know anything about it because I know I didn't. So our mayors, our council members, they're going through these programs. All of the cities, okay, the commissioners, they have something different. It's the National Association of Commissioners Organization or something, NACO, that one, but we're looking at the cities right now. We can't attend these events. You can't just like pop them and say, I want to go to an event. That's not how this works. This is specifically for them. For even me, as I'm trying to get into public office, I'm like thinking, you know, I want to get a leg up. Let's see if they have anything that we can attend here. Okay, so they have some free webinars. I didn't even know about these. Look, y'all. But again, remember, they're for government officials, but I don't even know if we can log in and get. There are some things that happened in May, if you saw in the National Public Works Week, okay? Working with Georgia Power, the audit, state reporting, government associations, cemeteries, those are governed by your cities. There was someone that came to my city council meeting one day and was complaining because the city council, the cemetery wasn't mowed. I mean, literally, okay? Again, this is only if you're a newly elected official, or city staff serving the community. It's the only way you can get involved. Okay. But I wanted you to know about this organization, and I do want you to at least sign up for, I want you to at least sign up for, let me see here. I think you can sign up just to get notified for information. I want to say I'm on like, oh, here, news. Okay, follow them online. Oh, and they have a Georgia Cities magazine. So every time I go to my city hall, I try to grab the Georgia Cities magazine. I shouldn't say that on the record, but you can go in here and look at the magazine and look at what's going on in the city. Okay, so again, I want you to be aware of this type of information. Let me drop the link down here and here so that y'all have it. Okay. And this is for the magazine. Oh, while I'm talking, sorry, y'all, I can't see the chat. Let me look here in the chat, see if y'all have questions. Hey, Lauren, welcome. Thanks for joining, Lauren. Okay, awesome. The next thing that we have is the National League of Cities. Okay, this is training here. This is advocacy work, the National League of Cities, federal advocacy committees in most of our cities, and you'll see them talking about these things. This is the State of the Cities report. This is what I'm saying. We don't understand what's going on locally, and all of these things are going on locally, and we have no clue. So we want to learn what's going on. There's resources and training, there's insights, there's just information, conferences, the city summit. Actually, I was thinking about going to the city summit myself that they had last year. But you literally can go to a city summit and learn information. But again, you need to understand why. I'm going into public office, I'm going in leadership. There's certain things. So if I were to attend, that would be why. Well, we can look here, the mayors that are there. Okay, Athens, Ohio. Okay, there's also an association, African American Mayors Association. Okay. Oh, you know, one thing I want to make sure that y'all do is get to the Georgia Black Caucus. Don't let me forget to share this information. Okay, but again, I want you to be aware that there is a National League of Cities where our mayors are going to these places to learn. So you need to sign up and learn what they're learning in terms of the information. There are things that we could bring out to our cities and our counties. Okay, reparations was done in Evanston, Illinois, Evanston, Illinois, and it was done through the city council. Okay, so you can subscribe for one of these newsletters. The next thing that most people don't know about, now this one is on the business side, but it's important. Now, I wouldn't recommend that you join. I pay like $1,600 a year to join this. It's like $2,500 a year now. But I can invite you to at least one event now. They'll let me invite you to at least one. So if I like him, I'll invite you. Okay, so in August, my senator is speaking at our Henry County Roundtable. These are the things going on behind the scenes, y'all. Okay, these are the things that are going on behind the scenes that you just don't know about. DeKalb has an advisory with their president of DeKalb Development Authority. North Fulton, the mayor of Peyton, City of Milton, Mayor Peyton, City of Atlanta with Stitch Development Manager, Cherokee with the new superintendent who used to be the superintendent down in Henry. This is a conference coming up. Now you can pay to go to the conference as a non-member. And members, we had to pay something too. They do have a coffee and conversations if you want to learn more. For South County Advisory Roundtable. So this is how I'm getting to learn and understand what's going on. My senator is speaking here, Brian Strickland. Well, guess what? I've met Brian a few times. And I can go up to Senator Strickland, hey, Senator, and I'm going to let him know I'm running for office and specifically. But this is what's going on behind the scenes. This is what happens when you see the mayors and your people and you show up every single month. There's a roundtable with people from my community. And our DOT manager spoke one time. Excuse me, I saw him at another DOT event, and guess what? He said hi to me. I had him a name tag, but he's speaking to me before I even run to speak to him because they start to see you all the time. But last thing I'm gonna leave y'all with is whether you're Black or not, I don't know. I don't know if I see no black, but I do. I see a lot of Asians. Get involved in the Georgia Black Caucus. We do have a conference coming up August 2nd to the 4th. I'm actually signed up. I guess it's this week. I got some stuff on I have a lot of stuff on my calendar this weekend. They have unity breakfast. They have receptions. These are our state representatives. You need to know them. The Georgia Black Caucus is the largest in the states, I think from the Black Caucus, but the Georgia from a state standpoint. Here are the members. And remember, they are our elected officials, okay? Our elected officials. So you have your senators, your House members, and some associate members that are here, okay? And then the events you are welcome to attend as well, okay? And the chairman, he's down in, I think he's down in Savannah. No, he's Augusta, if I'm not mistaken. Nice guy though, man. Yeah, Chairman Gilliard is down in, I think he's down in Savannah. Super, super, super nice. He'd look bigger than that now, but super nice guy. And he's committed. I believe he's a pastor too. Okay, so again, I want you to know about them. Oh, and the reception, I went to the reception, took my grandma last year, so it's in February. She just had a wonderful time. All right, so I'm gonna open it up for any questions that you have. Oh, this was, they have a big reception in, let me see here, in February, so that'll be next year, okay? But they don't have a lot of things that they do, but they have some. All right, so let me stop sharing. I'm here to answer any questions that you have. Yeah, Charles, those are well, Charles, I'm not a CPA, but I will tell you, anything that I do as a training and development or event, or if I consider it business development, business networking, it goes under my training and membership expenses. So that's how my bookkeeper categorizes it. I haven't had any problems. I mean, I'm not going there, you know, I mean, my fun stuff is Chicago stuff. And my fun stuff, this is fun to me too, but in a different way. Yes. So I would say yes, but check with your bookkeeper or your CPA. Okay. All right. What questions do you guys have for me? Questions you guys have?
Not a question for me. But last week after we talked about understanding zoning and who makes those decisions, I went and looked at, you know, some land that I have. And so I didn't reach out again to like my zoning department. They probably don't want to hear from me anymore. But
you can, you pay taxes and you pay their salaries. You can.
I know, right? But I do have a call on Thursday of this week with someone who is really good at reading that. I've actually met two people at Rice this week, which is wonderful. One guy has worked in the zoning department and he wrote the staff reports for like 3 different counties. And then another guy, he just has done land development all over the country.
Okay.
And so he's specifically working with me to figure out what can we do right now that's within. So I mean, I don't want to make the conversation about land development or anything like that, but just like for me, from a like development standpoint, that's the reason why I tune into these calls, is because I have no idea how, it works. And, I feel like it'll continue to unfold.
Okay, I'll ask my friend Andrew if he'll come in and explain a few things to us, because that's what he does. He does our community, well, he used to be our community director. Now he's our deputy administrator. He just got a promotion at our city hall meeting. That's where I learned about it. So he's sitting down with me because, again, the most important thing to understand from a city council perspective, from what I understand, the commissioners, is the zoning and the ordinance, like the zoning. But you can also ask for special use permit as well. So yes. Okay, awesome. Hayden, have any questions?
Yeah, I have a state. I'm going to have a bunch of questions for you, but I actually have a statement. I went to the Georgia Municipal Association event.
Oh, good.
And I have stuff to share with you. They had a lot of stuff, but they write they had an email that they were sending out, but they were talking to them about specific policies that they were pushing. And one of the big ones, like when I was so happy when you started talking about the charters, because that was the one thing that I couldn't find when I was looking up a lot of the stuff that they were talking about. So I want to follow up with you on that.
Oh,
but
okay.
They were pushing forward, because they're the Georgia Municipal Association. They were pushing forward legislation, specific House bills. I think it was like 128, or I could be 100% wrong on that one. But they had one that was about, they called it cityhood. They called it cityhood. They had cityhood bills where they were trying to restructure what it meant to own a city. I mean, to be a city, yes. And like the rules and regulations. So it's big, and it just, like they were it seemed like the mayors and the city officials were just eating it up. But you're 100% like you spot on. Like we need to be in all of these meetings. It is so important. But I have stuff to share.
But
Yes,
thank you for sharing. Yeah, every city has a charter. If you just Google the city plus charter, it should pop up. And remember, the ordinances are the updates, changes, requests, because they can make changes, but only with an ordinance. The charter remains the same. Rahul, do you need us to leave? Oh, okay. The charter is the charter, like the Constitution is the Constitution. It is the ordinances. So y'all have to sit in these meetings because it's the ordinances that are changing. You need to look at your charter. And we didn't even talk about the county's comprehensive plan. So I said, I got to have these calls because a lot of the information that I've learned and I continue to learn, I'm like, oh my gosh, and I consider myself pretty intelligent, y'all. I'm like, if I didn't understand this, you know, I want you to understand it. And one thing that is just one of my spiritual gifts is taking things that are really, really complex and simplifying, probably oversimplifying, just in a way that is palatable for you and actually kind of exciting too, because why would you show up on a political talk call it, you know, for 30 minutes if it wasn't exciting? I know my husband's like, I don't know how you enjoy all that stuff. He has a scruffy voice. I'm like, it's just fun. But that's just how I see it. I literally can see it like the Matrix, like Keanu Reeves in the Matrix, like Neo. I literally can walk and it's like, it just comes down like this. But you do need to understand, we can't go to all the meetings, pick a lane. So my lane, I go to some commissioner meetings. I don't miss the city council meetings. I go look at the schedule. It's public on the website and I add all the meetings to my calendar. If I can't make it, I can't make it, but the meeting is on my calendar.
I guess I don't know. If something else pops up, I gotta follow up with.
Abraham, it's good to see you. Yeah, it was a pleasure. Be in touch. Okay, absolutely. All right, anyone else have any questions? I see somebody else that's here. Oh, Deidre, did you have a question, Deidre?
No questions. No questions. Thank you.
Another thing that I will say has been helpful for me within the last I joined the NAACP like a year plus ago, and they have a group me here in Henry County, but I'm sure they have other ways to communicate with the other chapters, but it's like $30 a year, $25, $35 a year. They post everything in this group. I mean, pretty much anything political, like, oh, right now in the state of Georgia, they're asking us to reach out to legislators because, let me see here. There's something where you can go online and basically cancel a voter's registration with basically just someone's first name, last name, and their birthday. And it's scary. So they've asked us to call the Secretary of State's office to request that they close this down immediately. So it means that the Secretary of State has created a website that allows anyone to cancel voter registrations online with very little information. The website is, actually, we can look at it real quick. The other thing that I'll add here as I'm adding this is I do want you all to sign up to be a poll worker. I actually signed up and we need to know what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, think about it. We see, you know, my grandma was like, oh, I was a poll worker. And I'm not saying they don't know what they're doing. What I am saying is we need to know what they're doing. We need to know. We're the younger generation, y'all. We need to know what's going on, okay? And let me put up this Georgia voter cancellation. Yeah, this is huge. It's actually kind of everywhere right now. So let me share my screen. And I was alerted through the NAACP app. Okay, they have a group me. So I'm in the NAACP app. So see here, Georgia allows voters who move to cancel old registrations, but like, you know, someone's vindictive out there and just wanted to cancel it. Like I just told y'all my birthday's tomorrow. So somebody could literally go in and put my first name, my last name, because it's here, Montina Young Frazier, and my birthday and cancel my voter registration. That is crazy. Okay, that is crazy. Okay, absolutely, this is preposterous. So let's see here. First initial, last name, you know my county, because I told you where I live, and literally they could do that. So this is a problem. Okay, this is a problem. Okay, Javon, you're my last question.
Okay, no, I have a statement. I did work the polls for actually a couple of times, and you don't find out a lot about what's going on. They kind of just assign you, unless you like a manager, But if
Mhm.
you're just like a whole worker, you know, they just kind of put you in a spot. But if you, like, I worked as an assistant manager to the manager 1 year, and I did learn a lot. But most of the time, the first time I did, I was just a worker and they just told you where to go. In DeKalb, they have this intensive training. So
Mhm.
you may train for a couple of Saturdays, even before, you know, you work the polls. So they train you well,
Good.
but you don't get a lot of information unless you ask or unless you are a manager or assistant manager at the
Okay.
location.
Thank you for that insight. Well, you know what? Let's just sign up and volunteer at least one time so we can be like Javon. So at least we did it. You know, I kind of look at it as gonna be my jury duty. I guess I'll get some lunch out of it. But we just don't know anything, right? So we're just like just going in. Here's my license. Okay, just walking out. I want to know. I want my presence there. I want to smile at people when they walk in. I mean, I don't know. It's just so, I always go vote, and I'm just kind of like, it's almost depressing for me. I don't know. The poll workers just seem like they just tired. Maybe they need naps. But that's it for me. Again, every Tuesday at 2 and 2:30. My calendar is open for quick 15-minute. I do it once in a while. Sometimes I open my calendar and then I close it back up. But you can book on a non-meeting schedule. I'll answer a few questions. I only do it one time. So like save your one time for when you really need it because I don't do it often. I don't do consulting. I only do work with like programs like Georgia Tech, Rice, Southern Crest, and I'll be a professor, but I really just like to show up to these sessions. I give enough. I know you want me one-on-one, but the group setting is enough, okay? That way you can have your concise question, be succinct, it's enough. It really is, okay? All right? Okay, so call to action I like on these calls is if you have not already, for your county, I need you to identify your commissioner, the district you're in. You have a commissioner for your district. For your council, that's your city. Remember, commission is county, your council is your city, but there can be commissioners on a board, there can be council member committees, because we have on our housing authority, they are commissioners. So don't get that confused. I'm talking about your board of commissions for your county. Identify your district, send them an email. Deidre, I'll tell you, the Kevin, he's really hard to reach, but you got I almost have to chase him down at the meetings. Kevin, I'm commissioner. He's like, I know Montina. I will text him, call him, because I got their phone numbers. Well, how? Because they give them to me. But again, just go and introduce yourself. Try to set up a meeting with your commissioner. That's for your district and your council member for your district. Set up meetings, tell them who you are, what you do, and tell them you want to serve. Say, hey, listen, I'm here in this community. I live here, play here, pray here, work here, and I want to serve. They are just going to be floored. No one wants to serve. They just want to complain. Just 2 calls to action with that for your city council and for your commissioners. The third call to action I'm going to give you is I want you to identify a board that you'd like to serve on. And Nori, it sounds like for you, you might need to look at your zoning board, see if there's any seats coming open. What best way to learn than to sit on the board?
Yeah, it's true. So I've got some property in Coweta, nothing here in Fayette, but maybe that could be a way where I could start developing in Fayette, because Fayette was just too expensive just to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just happen to be a long-term resident, but yeah, that would be good. Like,
Yeah,
just
I mean, identify. Yeah, identify the board. Yeah. And my first board I identified was actually the Housing Authority board, but now that I'm going to be running for office, of course, I can't sit on the board. And it looks like I might even be leaning towards a development board, but we need to start thinking because it's a long play. This is not this is like a 2 or 3 year play. This is a 2 or 3. This is how everybody else has conversations where we're sitting up like, oh my gosh, they just they work with their friends and family. You would too. I'm schooling you the same way other people are schooled, and they're not intentional. I'm being very intentional about it. So this is a 2-year play. You got to get to know the people just to wait a year or 2 for a seat to come open. See how this works? It ain't easy, but it's worth it. Okay. With that said, oh, go ahead. Does somebody have something? Go ahead, Deidre.
I do have a quick question. So can you be on a board and still take advantage of particular no? Okay.
Okay, you went in and out, but it sounded like you said, can you sit on a board and still take advantage of contracts?
Right.
No.
Right.
So for me, because I know I'm running for public office, you'll see me doing things with Henry, but I probably won't renew the contract next year. They don't know. Well, they may or may not, but I can't, right? It's conflict of interest. But I can maintain my contracts outside of Henry. Okay. But if you don't work in the county, you can maintain them. But I do have a friend who her husband's a prosecutor in the city of Atlanta in the legal department, and she can't do any contracts. So like if you have a spouse that wants to do, so like for my husband, but he doesn't own a business, he works out on Warner Robins on the Air Force Base. But if he did, he wouldn't be able to have contracts in Henry. So those are things to consider. Okay. Those are things to consider. That's why this is a long-term play. Okay. And Deidre's a little humble. Deidre actually used to be a judge. She actually started from the administrator all the way up to judge. So she's like amazing. And so now she's out of that seat and she's over here on the other side with us common folks running her business. All right, y'all. Okay, well, Hayden, I'm gonna call you because I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna call you on my way home, and you all have a great rest of the day. Remember, I'm here for you, but just show up. I mean, we have hundreds of people that sign up, but it's showing up. Coming to the How to Do Business with Henry call tomorrow. Make sure you can show up in person because I have something really special for y'all. We're gonna start doing some pitch practices. You guys, there is an art to networking, and most people just don't get it right. And we don't want to do business with you because we don't like you. People do not do business with you because they don't like you. And I mean, that's a hard pill to swallow, but that's most of what it is. And then when certain people walk away, like we all kind of look at each other like, well, we know you're practicing, but at some point you got to get it. Oh, I gave you 3 calls to action. The book I'm going to leave you with as a resource is How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read it years ago. You got to get this right. Smile, know people's name, talk to people, ask more about them than yourselves. You have to get these things right if you want to grow a business. Or if you want to be, even if you're successful in your community. I'm actually joining like certain organizations and associations because certain people just rub like, I'm not as empathetic probably as most because y'all know my gutter story. Like, my father was in prison. My mom abandoned me. I got a GED. I have a couple executive degrees and masters now, but I came from the gutter. So for me, when people complain, I'm like, I'm not the softest person in that space. So I'm not great in certain spaces, but I've had to learn that, okay, now if I'm going to be representing the public and the community, I need to be more empathetic. So I'm working on that muscle a little bit. But I still feel like, we got to get out there and work for it. Okay. And this is me, y'all. I'm just being transparent. All right. Well, thank you for joining. Hey, Takia, Shelly, Deidre, Nori. Thank you, Hayden. You guys have a great rest of the day. I'm out. Appreciate y'all. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Montina. Have a good one.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.